Yeah, very interesting there from Vici, right? Smoking out there while the Brewmaster was still dead, so perhaps catching him a little bit off guard, and also finding a fight before the RP was ready. The horn toss was there, but JT couldn't quite figure out the right play for it in that moment. And that will send Vici back, but the main goal that they got, I suppose, would have been the reincarnation. Unfortunately for them, it is level 18 on the Wraith King, so back to just that minute cooldown. Much harder to punish at this point in the game.
They are at least able to stay pretty far out there on the map. They took back over the outpost. It's going to be reclaimed by IG before that 25-minute mark. But still, you can see this lead growing for Vici as the game goes on. This is just what Doom does. Though there is still a very farmed Wraith King. How do you feel each team is kind of feeling about the state of the game right now?
I think for IG, it's I would guess hollow would be the word, where
Okay.
like you're still playing, but it's got to be itching in the back of your head, just like, oh, we should be so much further up right now. Like,
right.
It's so hard to put that away and just like pack it up and move on. But all they can do is try and keep going for these plays and try and keep this tempo moving forward for them. The next big items probably they're just hoping for, like, they have the Lincolns, the Maelstrom on this Ember, so should be more confident jumping into these fights, watching out for that Doom.
Oh, and it gets the split off there. A couple other heroes in the area, but you'd have to assume that DY is just going to try and get out of here with these pandas. Earth One running. They got eyes on him, though. A slow, steady run down. Lift up afterwards from the Storm Panda, and I think that DY's teammates are going to leave him for dead here.
Yeah. So if you're new to Brewmaster, you always respawn on the Earth Panda.
Shard. Good to go.
Mentally, they could recover if they had just left it, though.
That's true.
That would really show something. But no, they're back in the game. All right, everything's fine this time. Emo heads down the bottom. They're going to grab a gem onto Ollie. Something that's becoming more and more common in the internationals we move forward is these earlier gems, just to get rid of this vision that your opponent's going to have on your side of the map. able to find a strong high ground defense here, and sure, you still have Aegis for the 2 minutes, maybe you go once again, but every time that misses, the game just gets harder and harder for IG, and Vici just gain more and more confidence.
And Ori, in the meantime, looking to find somebody on the bottom side that steps just a bit too far out.
Needs the help there from PYW, running in the smoke too, just to get through this Lincolns.
And
all right, freehand LSA.
There it is. Oh, he starts it off, and there's the pop. Can they get the kill? Yes, indeed. Aegis down. Do they have a round 2 now? He's coming back out. Fire remnant about to expire. Oh, he gets away at the last second. It was about to expire there.
Very close, but all good. All right, so now main issue though, of course, don't have the Aegis for continuing to push the high ground. They, I guess, do have reincarnation though, right?
That's true.
So can keep pressuring that tower just with the Wraith King here, but they're actually going to try and find their opponents in the river.
Counterplay coming.
There, he's Blink and Force Staff though. This is a hard grab. He's going to Blink first.
A little bit separated. Who do they find? Vici supports, backing away. PYW walks back into the flare vision. And DY, ooh, just barely outside of it.
How many times this game, you know? Old 11 getting away, now DY there too. IG been chasing ghosts for a lot of this one, and then you just have heroes staying on their side of the map and pushing out waves like Poyo on the bottom right now.
He's keeping that one pressured, yeah. Every single time one of these does not connect by IG when they make the big 5-man smoke rotations, something else falls apart there.
I mean, we can talk about the game like looking hard and stuff going late for IG, which it definitely does, but they also have some heroes that can still make the turning plays, right?
That's
in particular, true. That Magnus. So.
Yeah, that's the biggest one.
Yes, you'd rather win early and everything, but they're not completely doomed here.
Good blink away. BKB out. Do they have enough to bring him down? The rest of the heroes wrapping around. Old 11 tries to back out, but it won't happen. IG now looking for a bit more, but they won't be able to find it. In fact, it's just going to be a lift up for the moment, but 60 seconds, no doom. This is a huge window for IG here. Buyback, how much is he away? 400 gold.
Yeah, they still have some creeps with them here too, so they have to go for the glyph. They're going to counter glyph as well, trying to keep this creep up as long as they can.
No Bruce split available. Poyo trying to protect DY, but with Ori out on the other side of the map, he has the potential to cut those waves. Vici, well, at least for the moment, hold that high ground.
Yeah, it's, they moved into the slow game now from IG.
BKB TP out. Any hook shots?
Was getting pretty close though, that's for sure.
Lifeline TP's on back home. The boot.
So we got hook shots, we have an Abyssal being worked on for Fly. We have RP. If they want to keep going for these plays on the side lanes, there is a punish, right? For these BKB TPs, it's not just going to be this free guarantee for them. PYW also trying to find some safety here with a potential Aeon disc, much like DY. So both supports looking to try and get out of the chain stun that is available from IG, because they certainly have a lot of it, right? Pretty much everyone's got some way to control you if you count the Phoenix Egg.
For now, at least, Vici back to what they've been doing before, pushing out these lanes and dodging fights whenever possible. But with Roche capable of respawning again, that's going to be about a minute and a half. We'll see how this one works out, but it's a move with 4, Poyo bottom. Ready TP in a moment's notice.
All right, they have a sentry down here from Ori pops on the smoke.
Careful, there's the jump in, the Hex to open, flying by afterwards, stuns up the Lion, but down low, Kaka almost dead, ends up getting the hook shot away, but not soon enough. They got the Doom on the Phoenix, and the Manta afterwards. Oh, brilliant play right now from Ori, as he was able to dodge the stun, and now Turn gets all that damage out. Can he live long enough? Evo has to back away, and meanwhile, Fly just getting decimated up on the high ground. JT also going down. Ori just did so much in that fight, and Kaka back again. Do they have enough to kill him off afterwards? Ali also in this, trying to make something happen. Poyo and Old 11 combo together to bring down the bird again. These buybacks not enough for IG, as they're gonna lose 4.
Vici, they know, and they can feel this game and how it's going, and what a fantastic fight there, especially from Old 11 jumping in there with the stun and the Doom.
God, so much damage out from that freaking Tiny and the Lina that whole time.
It's always the bottled DD, right?
Right.
The bottled illusion at 33 minutes making the big play. Very nice stuff there from Vici, and here it is again.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, I thought that it was looking pretty good for a moment, but when they just couldn't bring her down. Look at this, how low freaking Ori gets in that illusion.
And he bashes the illusion. Like,
Yes.
that can change so much there in that engagement if he gets the right one there on that first swing. But certainly the star of the fight's got to be able to level with that initial stun there too. And they're just wondering there what to do on IG.
What could have been, what's to come.
JT's got to find the big plays, right? I mean, he's there, you see him, he's checking out, what do I got to do here? But this is not the frightening Magnus we've seen, right? But to be fair, he hasn't got to play near his own pace. You know, you think about all those mag highlights, that's kind of where most of them are. But he's had the horn toss for a long time, and I feel like I haven't really seen the massive horn toss breaking plays that we're used to. Just playing very tight on the side of Vici.
He can pull it back here as we get towards the later stages. This one, 35 minutes in, and Vici taking control of this map. It's going to be a minute until Aegis is up. Most likely, the vision from this clockwork will be the big turning point if they're able to make a good fight happen for IG, and of course JT's plays.
Yeah, and that is a hard thing to even figure out right now for IG. What is a good fight for them at this point, right? It feels like it just has to be straight up a blow up onto Ori. Like that's the most likely scenario to me. You know, he's got Satanic, he's got BKB, but they certainly have the heroes where you could chain stun and kill him very quickly if there's not a fast response from Vici.
This game, you can see the differences between them. Both mid laners doing so much damage, getting involved in the kills. A couple more deaths for Ori, but they need to be absolutely perfect here from IG to finish this one off. And
they've recognized what IG need to do on the side of Vici. And so you've got Old 11 with the locked up Aeon disc, right? He's ready. Yeah. DY gonna buy it next. You have PYW working just about towards that as well too. So they know it's one big fight that IG really need to get back in this game, like one big buyback crazy Roche fight, and they don't want to give that one burst of a hero away. And you know, as Doom, you don't really care if you're dooming people with your Aeon going, right? You just want to doom them. You just want to remove them from the engagement.
Exactly. So, will they be able to make that work? We've got the standoff across the river from each other. And Kaka and the Skeletons hanging out. Roche is up. Fly. Does he decide to go in?
We actually just got a late tome delivered to Emo here too.
Okay.
So that's going to put him to 25, I believe.
DY face checks the Roche pit. Sees that it's up now.
That's 25. What a timing. So 2 more slate of fist charges.
It's big. Fly. Trying to take this down. Smoke's going to break. Throw out the Cinder Brew. Moves on in here. Ori coming to join his team as they get ready for this fight around the pit. Jump forward. There's the catch from Old 11. Shiva's guard afterwards. Out. DY walking for the backline. Gets the lift up onto the Phoenix. So Bruce Split has been committed at this point.
Yeah, he's pushing them back, but they're not jumping into this fight right now.
Oh, good discipline by IG to hold off for the moment. DY looks for another lift up. Has it there on the bird. Emo gonna push out mid. As Vici smoke up, look to find an opening here. This could be huge for them. But that double slight and then the remnant away is going to keep Emo surviving.
Oh, jeez, Kaka just staying in front, trying to pop smokes. Trying to be the sacrifice here. It does not have buyback on that clockwork, and gotta expect he's the one to make that big turnaround play.
Only a couple of them there. Yeah, he's got one opening right now. Only the Ember and the Mag have buyback on the Radiant. Jump in, horn toss, finds DY. He has buyback if they kill him here. He's caught up on that little cliff, and they will bring him down.
That's a cheap kill, right? You know, just horn toss. That's exactly what you're looking for right now. See if you can force that buyback.
Oh, yo. They're waiting. They have that buyback ready. Looking for it. The toss back potential there. Or just have a toss up in the air. LSA afterwards. Bringing them down low. Do they have enough for Ori? Yes, they do. Now the horn toss catchy on the Ori. Right, they can do it. They have the egg in the pit, but the big jump comes out afterwards. Old 11 hoping to keep the control on the back. He's dead. Ori ends up falling afterwards. No buyback for that Lina. Is this the fight that IG have been waiting for? They've got Mag coming back in a few minutes here. The big RP connects there. Double kill, but do they have enough afterwards? Horn toss, DY in trouble. Lapoyo walks back in now on the fly. Old 11 hoping to get right on top of that Raid King, but instead they turn their sights on Emo and take him down. Triple kill for Old 11. The man, the myth, the legend, doing it all. for Vici on the big stage, but they buy back on the 2 cores. Now Poyo, he's in trouble. JT gets the skewer back and away. They have vision on top of that tiny. Well, the 11 looking for another jump ball. Gets the hook stop, but it's not enough in the end. IG win the fight. There's still 2 buybacks left on Vici, but they might have to give up this Roche.
They had so much vision in that fight there too from IG. Even when the play was coming back at the end with old 11, they saw him coming back trying to make a save on Poyo, but they were fully confident they were going to get the kill in time here. So IG waiting for the moment they find it. What an absolutely fantastic egg in this fight. Ollie has carried them through the majors on this Phoenix before, and just finding that perfect spot where there's just no way, right? He's abusing the cogs that were laid out there from Kaka to ensure that he was going to be safe. That Sunray's doing so much work for your team in this fight.
Unbelievably impressive showing. And of course, you talked about that 25 being done for Emo right before the start. I mean, in that fight, he did 9 sleight of fists throughout the whole course of it. And IG, they're not done yet.
Well, JT finding those plays, right? This is what you need in the late game. Doesn't matter what happens early, as long as you get the win in the end. Doesn't matter if you leave an Aegis or 2.
Well, they're up now onto the high ground, taking down these tier 3 towers and hoping to get some buybacks or maybe more out of this. Smoke up from 3, they have buyback on the Doom and the Tiny.
It's not often you see this with an 11k lead, that someone's just in your base, taking these buildings.
Jump in, Hex, trying to get some separation. PYW in trouble, Aeon Disc afterwards. Lift up now onto the Doom, he didn't get that BKB off, they take down the Lion, dead for 70. Do they have that much left now? Emo turned upon, they also have the control onto Kaka, he falls, no buyback. 60 seconds, fly. He walked into the sentry though, but old 11 did a little bit of separation and dead. He's coming back in a moment, they get the egg, but it's not on the high ground. They weren't able to do it. RP afterwards onto 3, but Ori is there on the outside, wanting to chase and find themselves a couple more kills. In some trouble. Fly, nowhere left to go. He too will die. 2 minutes, no buyback. Emo trying to salvage this for his team as JT also heads away. Vici Gaming respond emphatically with that one.
That was at a high cost though, for sure, right? That was a lot in terms of losing your base. You have a buyback there on 11, which can turn to, well, a dieback in the end. Can turn into something in the next fight there too. That'll still be there. Maybe you get Poyo as well. He did buyback during that mess too. So some dangers here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this game on a knife's edge at this point.
The scary thing is I don't want to go anywhere near their base right now with the potential for just like dead heroes for 2 minutes, you know, on the side of Vici.
Yeah.
You do not want to be the one who gets horn tossed back to the tier 4s and dies.
And we've seen that happen time and again throughout this TI. 4,000 gold lead is all it separates, but really, like you're talking about, it's those buybacks that really determine how this is going to end up going. You can see the big swing back afterwards. And the buyback only being on the Phoenix and the Clockwork for the moment. Everybody else except for Ori is pretty much on the timer. He does have that
in this game.
Yeah.
And they could wait the 4 minutes here too, and of course they'd have a 2-minute window with it. They would actually have the buybacks on all 3 of their cores for IG, and you'll still have that 2 minutes or so where you won't have it on the Doom and the Tiny. So that's sort of the ideal scenario here for IG.
Tiny trying to get into that AC himself on Poyo. You can see IG playing very defensively, staying inside their base. A Daedalus done for the Ember. So he's going to be dealing out some serious damage in these fights. So he swaps that one out for the bottle.
They have so much right-click damage there too. I mean, several times you're seeing this this Wraith King empowered, has the 25% cleave talent. Mortal Strike now has the -2 second cooldown. So the swings are most certainly big. You just need a little bit of control there. And I imagine that Kaka would love to have found that Aghanims this game, but just needing too many defensive items, unfortunately, because keeping the chain stun going is a bit rough for them right now. A lot of that pressure onto JT, delivering in the late game for sure. But 1 fight, 2 fights, still not enough.
He needs a lot.
Scanning for enemies.
They need to keep it going here on IG to continue to build that momentum. And for now, at least, Vici waiting for, of course, the next Roche, but also that next big set of items with the AC done on Poyo. It does help to mitigate that physical damage quite significantly.
And this is the stage of the game where Dota gets a little bit weird because you have to run around as a unit a lot of the time. It's very difficult to actually separate unless you have like very good escape mechanics and like TP boots and everything. So this is where the vision really starts to suffer when you don't have dedicated vision heroes as a support player, because you can't just like flare all the way around. You can only really ward where you're following your team. So they are going for some pretty defensive wards on the side of VG, staying up on their own side, but they're gonna have a very hard time figuring out what angle IG's coming from.
Right. You can see playing with not a ton of vision right now. Emo thinking about going in to start this fight onto DY. The root is there. Aeon Disc going to proc. So increasing that cooldown, definitely valuable.
And immediate D wards here. You know, they're just gonna check the common spots.
That's what you want to do if you're IG. Look to suffocate Vici with the vision. And queuing up the rapier next for Emo.
And look at this prayer down bottom too. It's just sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
Just wants to finish off that refresher here for Old 11, and that will be masterful. Get the double doom out in these fights.
I mean, double hook stomp, double everything, BKB. It's all good.
Well, speaking of which, though, it's also done for JT. Oh, these fights are gonna get mad.
I mean, it's either very simple or very complicated.
Yeah, depends how many heroes get RP'd.
And who gets
that can make it really easy.
Yeah. Likewise, who gets Doom.
Yep.
But bottom lane gonna get pressured in again by Vici. So IG will hold this side of the map because that Aegis got reclaimed so quickly after they picked it up. It's just this long window where if anybody steps too far forward and gets caught, could be the end of the game.
Yeah, there's just so much burst damage on both sides.
Definitely. Oh, and Ollie also going for a refresher.
Yeah, that's right. Ollie actually still not having a real saving item here. Just has the Yules, so the positioning of Ollie perhaps the most important.
Right, if he gets doomed at the start of the fight, that just changes everything.
He's just gonna hope that he dies so he can buy back.
Shows DY, walks high ground, rooted, hook shot afterwards, they find a good one. That's Old 11, DY, Aeon Disc out afterwards, gonna pop the ulti and try and go in for more. Breaking the Lincolns on Emo, now Old 11 has an opening.
And that's gonna send him back.
Trying to find it, Old 11 gets the catch there, onto Kaka now, also zoning out JT, who's looking for a big jump in. Now the Ewell Scepter lift up onto that tiny, egg is down. Fight getting very weird as they lose the Lion. What else do they have left now? Oh, gotta be careful, Fly. They throw out the stun, Toyo looking to cover, JT doesn't get the skewer back. The retreat together from Vici. They still have that buyback on the Lion if IG fully commit.
PYW is just holding on to that. Nice play from Emo. Just BKB'd and dove the backlines. Went for the big hunt there onto the Lion. And again, just utilizing that vision there too, right? Makes your fight so much easier. I feel like every time we have a team fight, the vision is just all IG. And that makes it so much easier for them to play with the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, opens up his game like crazy. And PYW just doesn't really have a way to save, with the exception of that Aeon Disc. As soon as that's down, it's over.
Has an aesthetics now, though, so there you go.
Now, Fly.
Oh, man, Toyo's crazy. That's the kind of territory where you see, I mean, just like Shamil, right? Of course, he was on the tiny as well, but like that's where the Horn Toss can just get you.
Yeah, and they still have a minute until those buybacks are back up. Old 11 still some amount of gold away, but he's going to regain that super fast. Almost everybody has buyback up, IG do, and by the time this Roche fight happens, I think everybody in the game will.
10 heroes maybe, you know? Can we get another one of those?
There's a chance.
Yeah. I feel like this time there would be diebacks, though. I think this fight might be it. Yeah, it's all culminating here.
God, looking for it. Look, he's getting Horn Toss. Toyo pops the BKB. And now the back out. Ori wrapping as well. They've got that vision on favor of IG. DY spinning in a circle.
He's still playing loose, this guy.
Yeah, this just now came back up. But they proc it. And then the runaway. Really nicely done there by Emo. So important in those fights, having that Aeon Disc done.
And that Roche, it's about to be back up here. IG can know right away between the flares, just leaving a helm creep in there. They're essentially destined every time to know first. Yes. But VG, it's a bit more of a question. And there it is, and Fly gonna go right in. They don't see any of this right now for Vici.
They're
just
in the middle,
Ember zoning them back.
DY caught. with the Hex afterwards, and then the jump in. Aeon disc out. Do they have enough to kill him off? DY dead. Buys back immediately, and now the fight separated. Kaka goes down. 2 buybacks so
Old
far.
11 is just not here. He's running.
The rest of them are nearby. They turn, they try and get the kill, and they'll get him. PYW down and dead, but that's BKB's also down. Gem on the ground. DY will go and pick that one up.
Back in the pit, Fly working away at Roche.
They have to know about this.
Got some buddies helping.
This is scary times. They have that rapier done for Emo. A ton of damage ready. Looking for the opening, but DY gets the ulti off. Now the turn. Doom, almost throws it out there. Doesn't get it onto the Lotus Orb, but they have 2 rounds of it.
The Phoenix.
Rapier's still there. They're looking for that opening. Try to take him down, but he gets the Evil Scepter afterwards. Control, does he get the angle? They do the other one. Now Ori ends up falling. The RP afterwards. Do they have enough? They try and kill him all off, and they will. The Rapier doing way too much damage in this fight from Evo. They have no control at all, and IG bring them all down.
Was he duped? Because it doesn't really look like it, does it? Just keeps walking at you and swinging. And Ali, this Phoenix, excellent coverage there from JT. Can't do it by himself, but he's got a couple of friends to help out there. And yeah, that big old damage with the Rapier.
Danger, refresh and the jump in. Oh, Playo tries to kill him off, Lifeline almost dead. Old 11, the Aeon dips his prop, but Ollie on the other side tries to do it to him. The BKB out. Ori, does he have enough in the tank? The Hex is there on the Lifeline, but the real damage dealer is going to be the Ember up on the high ground. Old 11 pulled back in, brought down, dead.
He's gone.
No buyback, 2 minutes. Aegis is down. They get it. It's snatched by Playo, but is it enough? They might just kill him twice. JT on the side, the right click's coming in from that Tiny. He is so large and hard to kill. Ollie again, caught broken, one more punch. It's not enough. There's going to be the lift up again. Ori tries to turn now on to JT, but it's infinite. There's no vision. They don't have it. So much healing out from this Phoenix. Ollie eventually will go down, but it comes at the cost. As the Ori is the only one left now. As Puyo comes back alive though. Now let's say off the mark. Ollie turns, blows him up. Look at the Daedalus. Crit comes out as Puyo wants to salvage. It's a triple kill for the Tiny, but he's all left alone. Nobody left on his team. Puyo eventually 2 will fall. Emo didn't go down in that fight one little bit.
I don't even understand how many slights he just did in that engagement. That was unbelievable from Emo. What a play from IG, from losing and leaving an Aegis.
Who needs it?
I told you, they were fine. They were never concerned.
Unreal.
They played that last fight so well. I mean, you can honestly just go back and only watch Emo through that fight, and it was absolutely thrilling the way he just like spaced perfectly the entire time through that engagement. Remember, we're dealing with a double Doom.
.6% win rate with Phoenix across the entire international. You have never lost a game with Phoenix here. What makes you so much different than everyone else?
Not sure, maybe. Maybe my team is better. My teammate is better. The Phoenix is maybe not a good hero, but my team is better.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it looked like that during that Phoenix egg with the Magnus save. Yeah. But I do have one final question for you, and this is very important. What happened?